ready to get my next project. Oh, gotta love working on everything. And here's the bead. Hit that lovely thing right there. Them squeaky ass brakes. Alright, our next project right here, we have a 97 Evinrude 90. At this shop, we work on everything. If it's got an engine, we work on it. So, but today we're going to be switching out the fuel pump because for some reason with all of these Evinrudes, they have huge problems with their fuel pumps. So I'll get a lot more into the depth of explanation and all that on these when we tear into it. So stay tuned and I'll walk you step by step. Okay, so we are changing out what they call the VRO pump, and we're converting it. On these, first thing you need to do is you're going to pull your air breather, which just pull these little cords right here, pull them out and around, pull this one out and around, grab your casing, pull it back, walk around here. I already popped this one off, so that one's loose and that one's loose, so and that just pops back forward. Then come back around to this side. You can actually see it a lot better on this side. So what we're gonna do is you've got right here, you got a vacuum line, pop that off, and that should be the only ones. So take it, lift it up out of there, and you've got another vacuum line right here. You're gonna work that off of there, which 90% of the time you can just grab it and, oh lovely, that's just completely full of fuel. Oh, that's just awesome. Okay, well anyways, grab it, pull it off just like that. So I'm gonna set it down there. Now, set you guys down. Hopefully where you can see a little bit better. This whole assembly right here is the VRO pump. Oh, that's cute. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where any of this stuff comes from. That's freaking gross. Oh well. Squish, squish, squish. So, anyways, your VRO pump itself sits right here. So, you've got your connector that comes out of the bottom and around. And I think what I'm going to do is I might actually pull this side of the case. So, give me a second, let me reassess, and I will bring you guys back. Okay, so after assessing everything to see where we're going to start, we actually have, here's your electrical wire right here. It goes from the bottom around and up into the connector right here. So we can go ahead and pull that up, take and get your fingers on it, pop the clip to get it to come loose. bit of a pain. So thankfully this thing is not completely doused in oil, just a little bit. So there's that, and then all you have to do is get it up to where you can get to the connector. And come on. Let go! Jeez Louise! Okay, well I'm gonna have to get that off of there, but it might also be easier if I take it around the fuel line there. So there's, as you can see, there isn't any locks or anything like that on it. It was just literally the metal clipping. So, I mean, these should just pop right out of there, but of course, with wear and tear and time on it and everything else, some of them just don't like to come apart because they are truly watertight, and when they seal, it's not a good thing. So, alright, well I'm going to get that off of there, and then I'll bring you back. Alright, so we got her disconnected, finally. There's that, there's your connector. Now, next thing we're going to do is, there is, where are you at? Oh, come on. There you are, you're hiding. Focus. Okay, well, that screw right there is a Phillips. I'm going to take that one out. There is another one right there, and then there's another one. Where did you go? Why is everything hiding on me? Right there. So you have 3 Phillips head screws that'll release it from that body. Biggest thing is have a drain pan or something underneath it here, so that way when the stuff does pop off, it'll at least leak into the pan and not onto your floor, unlike I have done numerous times. So we get those screws out and we'll bring you back. Okay, so got those 3 screws out. I went ahead and pulled the main fuel line off. It's sitting over there, but I pulled it off, and now the housing is loose. You're able to move it around. But on the bottom, there's 3 lines that go in. I'll show you on the new one. So on this new one, pump sits in here like this, and there is 1, 2, 3 lines on the very bottom. Okay, so I went ahead and took the side cover off because, well, number 1, I dropped the screw. Number 2, it's a whole lot easier to get in here to undo stuff. So, anyways, you have the 3 lines on the bottom I was talking about. Here's your first one. It sits right here. It's the oil valve, or the oil line. Then you have your fuel line, and then you have your breather line down here. So this one goes straight in, this one goes straight up, and this one goes straight up. So on the new pump, we have crank ventilation, fuel in, oil in, and up here you have your fuel oil mixture fed into the carburetors. So also another thing is when you go to take this cover off, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 10mm bolts, or 3/8, however you want to use them. The cover just pulls off. It sets over these alignment dowels to hold it in place, but it makes it a lot easier to be able to get in here and get up into where your lines hook up on this side. And this will release both sides, so you will have to pull the cover here for the throttle lines, which to do that is just a regular Phillips screwdriver. Undo that, pull your cover off, set it back there, undo your 410s, pull that cover off, set it back here off to the side so it's out of your way, and you've got all this room in here to be able to get to it. So but anyways, on this one I went ahead and changed all the connectors. It comes with extra connectors and all that. New PCV ventilation valve. So which the one that's in it is in really good shape, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it, because that's a whole other mess of getting in there and getting it undone. It sits back in here. So but now that we've got everything swapped over and I know that all the connectors are correct, then I'm going to go ahead and set it back in, and we'll get the lines hooked up, and then I'm going to go to lunch. Okay, so we got her back in there. Get down here where you can see a little better. So these 3 lines right here, there's your oil input for the VRO, there is your fuel inlet for the VRO, and then crank ventilation, which runs the actual pump diaphragm. So all 3 of those on the bottom. Then up here in the top is your, where's my finger at? There it is. Okay. This right here comes up out of the top and goes into the fuel distribution for both both of your carburetors. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. For both of your carburetors. So there's that top section there. Then your plug obviously comes around, plugs back in, you put your clip on, and then you get your 3 Phillips screws put back in there. And after that, we can take and put, which I recommend putting a new O-ring on, but we had just had this part not too long ago, so the O-ring on this is okay. But take and put your main fuel line back on here. Just like that. Make sure everything's straight so we don't have leaks. You get leaks, you get fined, especially on a boat. So, but I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down, and then we will move on to putting the side cover back on, and basically you're ready to go. Put your air cleaner on and everything else and fire it up and go cruising.